Hello, everybody. Sonny Rich here with the 10 best albums from 1972. My number 10 is Big Star, number one record. It's probably the worst album cover on this list and the worst album title on this list. It's not very original. The songs, however, are quite original, and they get the power pop label. I don't quite understand that. The first song, Feel, it comes out with a banger. The second song, The Ballad of I always call it El Gordo, but I guess it's El Gudo, or I don't know. It sounds like a George Harrison song from that. The beginning does, with the guitars and the singing. In the Street, another going. 13 is a lovely song. Don't Lie to Me, another strong rocker. And then the India song, the wanker on the album. It starts out, dun, 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 dun. Sounds like a Paul McCartney song, it's horrible. And the words are, I want to move to India and live in a big white house in the jungle or in the forest. I don't know. It's pretty weak. My number 9 is Hot Tuna. Burgers by Hot Tuna. This is their third album. It's actually their first studio album. Fantastic album, man. Got some live shots of the band. It's got Papa John Creach on it. And actually, I think Papa John Creach fits Hot Tuna more than he did Jefferson Airplane. And yeah, it starts off with a True Religion. It's kind of an acoustic, bluesy highway song, 99 Year Blues. See, side 1 is a perfect side. Keep on Trucking, side 2. I'm not going to go through it. I don't think it has a bad song on it. Probably should have, I don't know. Number 8 is Stevie Wonder, Talking Book. This is a step up from most of Stevie Wonder's earlier stuff. Stevie Wonder's, especially his 60s albums, they may have a good song here and there, but there's a lot of clunkers in there. This album is just fantastic, though. It has a kind of a weird sound to it, though. I don't know if it's just the keyboards. It almost sounds like when you're on acid, and it's kind of... The album cover's not all that great. Starts off with the I think it was a number 1 hit, You Are the Sunshine of My Life. And it has Superstition on side 2, which was maybe another number 1 hit. And it ends with I Believe When I Fall in Love, It Will Be Forever. I knew that song from Art Garfunkel. And I believe I bought this album after that Art Garfunkel album. In fact, I think the Art Garfunkel might have came out in 71 I don't know, whatever. Number 8, Stevie Wonder, great album, and he had some more good stuff to come. My number 7 is Lou Reed, Transformer. Another album with side 1 is darn near perfect. Side 2 does have some Goodnight Ladies, I guess it's okay. New York, Telephone Conversation is not a very good song. But yeah, even Satellite of Love, I never really got into that song. But yeah, Vicious. Andy's Chest is one of my favorites on this. Perfect Day is great. And of course, Walk on the Wild Side, his biggest selling hit of his entire career. Now, number 6 is an album that some people may have at number 1, and some people may have this as this individual's best album. I mean, no. It's a Harvest by Neil Young. It's got some really great songs on it. And people talk about how great this album is, but I never hear anybody mention the elephant in the room when it comes to this album. And that is the two turds on this album. They both come in the exact middle of side 1 and side 2. And they are A Man Needs a Maid and There's a World. Well, I guess There's a World is the second song on side 2. A Man Needs a Maid. I always found the words to that kind of objectionable. It's like, what? I can't clean up after myself? What the fuck are you trying to say, Neil, you know? But the French horns and the over-the-top horns and just string arrangement. I don't know if it has strings or what. The London Symphony Orchestra, okay. It does not fit with the rest of the songs. And it's like, I don't know, it ruins the album. If the songs would have been like on the radio Big Star record 1, the India song was the last song on the album, you can just pick it up. These are right in the middle. It ruins the album for me. And this is definitely not Neil Young's best album, in my opinion. Number 5, what's weird about this is when I went and pulled the records, turns out I have 2 copies of this record for some reason. And it's Van Morrison, St. Dominic's Preview. This is probably my favorite Van Morrison album. I haven't heard all of his stuff. And it's been a while since I've heard some of the ones that I had and I don't have anymore. But yeah, I love this album. It starts off with Jackie Wilson Said. It's kind of like in that vein of those hits he had. Brown Eyed Girl, Domino. And it's kind of in that vein. And it's got the little... I love that. Gypsy, pretty cool. But the 2 ending songs on both sides are very floaty. Let's just put it this way. This album has a wide range of styles on it. And it just works. And here, I got 2 copies. The blue's a little bit more faded on this one, but I don't know. Number 4. It's a band that used to play Bakersfield quite a bit. And it's The World is a Ghetto by War. This is their best album. It doesn't have a weak song on it. The hit was the Cisco Kid. Then you got City Country City, what was like a 14-minute jam. And then Beatles in the Bog. Four Cornered Room is a really trippy song. Where Was You At? Another good rocker. And then it ends with The World is a Ghetto, another long jam. But yeah, if you're going to get one War album, this is the one I would start off with. It's fantastic. Number 3. This is an artist that had a string of great albums in the 70s. And maybe my favorite artist from the 70s. And it's David Bowie. This is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. Just a great album all the way through. It starts off with 5 Years. Just a fantastic, emotionally felt song even. And then Rock and Roll Suicide, the last song. He's actually got soulful vocals in that. But yeah, it's got Moon Age Daydream, Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City. You know, it's got some hits on there. Well, we say they're hits. They weren't radio hits at the time. Number 2 is a very interesting album by this band. And it's in my probably top 3 of this. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. But it's Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. It's in my top 5, put it that way. It's a very interesting album. They famously went to France to escape the taxation in England. And it's mixed, really strangely. Mixed vocals, or they're not out front like normally. They're kind of down in the mix. And it's an interesting album. And yeah, it's a really good listen all the way through. It does have a couple of songs that are not as high order, if you will, as some of the others. but it doesn't have a bad song on it. And Tumbling Dice was the hit. Happy, another great song. That was a hit. And I don't know, I'm not going to go through all the songs, but yeah, this is my number 2 album from 1972. And again, the number 1 album is going to be, I don't know, some people will love it, some people will hate it, but it's Miles Davis On the Corner. Probably my favorite Miles Davis album. This was I bought this album when it came out. It wasn't the very first Miles Davis album I bought. I had bought one of those twofers from Prestige. But yeah, this was like a new vinyl. It was records that were released. I pretty much bought this when it came out. And I dig it, man. It's great headphone music. My only complaint with this is the way it starts, the song On the Corner. It starts out just like, it's almost like the song is it starts at the middle of a song almost, you know? It would have been better if they would have started, Black Satin first. I think that's the one. It starts out with these sitars and these congas. That would have been a better way to start the album off. But whatever. Just a fantastic album. And in the mail, just came 2 days ago, was my original master recording, my Mo-Fi of On the Corner by Miles Davis. Crease Break or whatever. Great shot of Miles. Fantastic album. And it's my number 1 album, 1972. Take care, everybody. 73 will be coming up shortly.